Hello, this is Alex Lonnquist with Captain Soup. I am the Director of Operations for Captain Soup, and I'm here with Maureen Killoran, who is our wonderful kitchen manager and shipping manager. Maureen, how are you doing today?
I am well, living life good on the farm. One of the places I volunteer at to keep me close to the land and doing what's natural. It's good to be with you. You're all the way in Arizona today.
Yes, I am. Love the virtual being able to connect. I do miss the trees behind you. Your view is awesome. But yeah, I'm excited to talk to you today. What we're gonna do here for those who are watching is offer a little bit of a window behind the scenes for who's involved making the soup, putting a lot of love and effort into, preparing the soups and sending the soups to all of our loyal, lovely customers who enjoy our products. So, you ready to get started, Maureen?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. So we'd love to hear a little bit more about you and how you got involved with Captain Soup, how you got out to the Willamette Valley in Oregon, and what sort of interests you in the space that Captain Soup is involved in.
Well, it's a place that's very near and dear to my heart. And I am a local, originally a Pennsylvania native. And when I was living there, I grew up in a way where we had a huge garden, raised a lot of our own food. And as I grew older and got away from home, I ended up living in town. And I was like, this doesn't work for me at all. There's just an overwhelming pressure every time I'd walk into the grocery store to purchase meat or anything really. And it upset me in a way that it was hard to do anything other than take responsibility and start growing my own food. And I found a local farm, Forks Farm, which I was able to volunteer at and then became a part of. And while I was there, I was introduced really to the fundamental processes that really make a difference and why we farm the way we farm, why we choose to farm in a sustainable way that's mimicking the life cycles of the animals and how they thrive best. John Hopkins and his wife Todd Hopkins are the farm bosses back home in Pennsylvania. It's a 90-acre farm where we did woodlot pork. There was, pastured beef. There was an eggmobile that was always in rotation. So John called us grass farmers. He said if we didn't have grass, we wouldn't be farming. All of these animals eat the grass. We rotate them. So to learn a really intricate way about the best way to farm and the in the most natural way possible, and that through them living this a low stress life where they're in their natural environment, they get a chance to be happy, to be healthy. They don't leave the farm until they're packaged and ready to go. And that hands-on approach and knowing that we can make a difference by doing that and growing food for our community. And it really made a big difference in my heart to be able to learn from them and then move out here to the West Coast, which I found to be completely and absolutely amazing. I was on a woofing adventure a couple years back, fell in love with the West Coast and especially the Willamette Valley, it's a gem and it's rich.
Mm.
And there's a lot of like-minded people here who also understand and respect the practices that we find important to do what we do, which is raise happy, healthy food with
Yeah.
the most nutrient dense availability and also takes care of the earth, Mother Nature itself. The cycles work really well together when you're constantly rotating, and it's important.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I love to be outside, and it's really good balance for me.
Mm-hmm. So it's safe to say that, being involved in farm life, helping to produce healthy animals, healthy plants, grass, everything that's involved in a healthy ecosystem is super
Mm-hmm.
important to you. And what did that mean to you in meeting Brian, becoming friends with Brian, and learning about his future goals of integrating, vertically integrating Captain Soup with regenerative agriculture? Like, what did that mean to you to be involved in that?
It's very special for someone who didn't. So, as we know, Brian's been in the military for quite some time, and that world is much different than what the farm life looks like as far as, the day-to-day activities. And meeting them, Brian and his wife Cassie, seeing what world they knew was important, that mattered to them, the hard work that it takes, having integrity and intelligence to get into this endeavor, not having grown up like myself where I was fortunately exposed to it, and understand the value to meet some people that take that and say, we know that this is important for the brain, the body, the whole world that we want to live in. And it's new to us. And I'm like, I just happen to have a little bit of experience in this world. And if you ever need a hand with anything, give me a call. And it wasn't too much longer that Brian set out a call and I answered, and I did an interview, and he said, well, we need a kitchen manager. I was like, that's not necessarily what I was thinking. However, I'd love to be a part of this. So how do I help?
Mm.
So I got involved, became the kitchen manager, which means that I get to be in contact with our farmers, our purveyors, to find out whether it's Knee Deep, whether it's Anderson's, whoever's growing the food that's closest local, that's raised in a way that is so important to their health. The food ends up being more nutrient dense because of the way that it's raised. And I was like, to marry all of these pieces and parts and get to cook the food, to make the soup with my very, very good friend Terry, who is, I think we'll call her the goat.
There he is
She's
the goat. Yeah.
absolutely one of the most phenomenal people. She's 75. We're working side by side. She grew up in a world where before ours, where it was commonplace to make everything from scratch.
Mm.
And she's still doing it and holding strong. And if there's not somebody that's a good representative, I don't know who is, because she is. And it's it's like fulfilling in a way to have the view and be able to get to work with Terry, and also stop by Brian's farm and get to show what I've learned to the kids.
Mm. Hmm.
So this, from the ground up, and also all of the ages, and getting incorporated into the importance and why. And it's a lifestyle as well, putting that health first.
Yeah, yeah. I can really tell how impactful this work that you're doing is on multiple levels. It's really cool to see that, family, friendships, health, being involved in nature, the physical, mental, emotional. It's really cool to see that. And just in case anyone who's watching this, any of our customers didn't know this already, so Brian Gadet, our founder, he purchased some farmland in Cresswell, Oregon a few years ago. And our goal as a company, what Brian had a vision for was vertically integrating all of the, or as at least a majority of the ingredients for our soups on his own farm. So we have full control over what we're putting into the soups so we can make sure it's the highest quality, most nutrient density, and the animals are raised as they are supposed to in alignment with nature. So
Mm-hmm.
we're already in the process of getting chickens that we're raising on Brian's farm. It's called City on a Hill in Cresswell. The chickens are in our chicken soup, in the process of that happening. Next up is going to be the lamb, and then probably beef in the future. Yeah, we're really excited about it. And Maureen has played a pivotal part in that process with her background in farming. And, we've got a lot of help from Joel Salatin, one of the most famous, I guess you could say, modern farmers. He's like
Yeah,
the farmer guy, right? It's been a lot of fun getting to learn these things and being involved on the farm. But yeah, I love your story, Maureen. And you and Terry, for sure, make a power team in there. The vibes are like always off the charts when I come by and visit. You guys are always smiling and listening to music and having a great time. And I think you're also making really tasty soup too. That love and energy comes out in the food that you're making for sure.
absolutely. There's kind of a joke that I say, like, there's nobody that's going to keep me from like maximizing and putting all of my love into every bit of what I'm doing, because I know that there's energy behind it.
Mhm.
And when you put love into something, like the old set, oh, it's made with love, that's why it tastes better. It really truly does. Every bit of it, what we do to make this happen, to create this product so that we can ship it out to people, is laced with so much love and passion for what's being done and healing people. I've noticed a difference in my life when I get a chance to eat strictly from the farm and the pride that comes from that as well. But my body is nourished with the bone broths. That's just, it's love. Everything is done with love and consideration and integrity.
Mm.
And it's old school.
Yeah. So you've noticed
My health,
significant health benefits from eating more of the soup and shifting your diet and eating
definitely.
this clean way. Yeah, that's amazing.
I've had some autoimmune issues that the symptoms have begun to subside the more the more I really just stick to it and say like this is 100% what I need all of the time. More energy, more focus, my body healing itself, better sleep, digestion. We know that our gut brain connection is super important. It's something that's being studied more often now than, 50 years ago. We have technology to back it up and stats that follow.
Yeah.
But I myself definitely am in a healthier place because of it.
Yeah. That's so amazing to hear, Maureen. And for those who are watching this, they, most likely are putting a lot of value in their own health. They're wanting to eat a clean diet. They want to work on how they feel. And I hope all you guys know that every single person on our team at Captain Soup has been impacted by some form of illness one way or another and has had food be deeply nourishing and helping heal on multiple levels. So we're in this for all you guys as well. We understand what you all might be going through and we value the same thing. So we hope that comes across in our messaging and the quality of the product that we're sending out to you guys because it matters. It's super important. We're setting up the future of our nation with the food that we produce. And that's the next question I wanted to ask you is where do you see the state of the food industry in the world, but especially in the United States? And where do you see regenerative farming and agriculture in there? And how can we make a big impact in the health of our nation and providing healthy, uncorrupted food?
So, knowledge is power, and the more we know, the more powerful we are. What has happened with CAFOs, concentrated feeding operations, with the monocropping, that's very devastating to the land, to the nature itself, and things don't thrive as they would naturally. And to make a mass abundance of stuff, of foods, like we have to keep the profit margins high. That's not the most important thing to keep people healthy. So slowing it down, being able to support more local farms who are doing the proper steps. And we know that trying to grow massive amounts of food in a quick, fast way with high profits can happen. It doesn't necessarily make it healthy. It actually has negatively impacted a lot of people's health, the health of the earth itself, the soil, the water. People are starting to get better educated on the importance of having healthy food and how that food is medicine. When you put it in your body, it's nourishing to you, and it shouldn't be something that can sit on a shelf for 15 years and never rot or go bad just so that it can be, made, boxed, sold. Mass production, mass production, mass production. Slow it down. Look to your local farmer. Find out what your body's calling for, what it needs. Try to get away from the quick stuff. Slow it down. I think that people are getting better educated, and that's really important because we're trusting. We trust what we're told. So it's shoved in our face all of the time. It's like, quick, do it, the most, this, that. It's not really taking into account what's most important, which is our health. When we are fueling ourselves, you have to fuel the machine, but you have to give it the right fuel. What they're trying to do is have one perfect thing, and then that wipes out the entirety of the ecosystem. And that's really detrimental. And I think people are starting to understand that you are what you eat eats.
True. Yeah. And it's so silly to me to see these companies, these ways of life in our country where we're like actively working against nature,
Right.
where we could we could be working in alignment with nature and get so much better results for everyone, and everyone is better off in the end. But we have to change our priorities first.
Priorities, that's the word I was looking for
Yeah,
earlier. The
yeah,
priority should be the fuel we're putting in our bodies should
yeah.
be the proper fuel. And that can't happen in the way that the farming has been happening as of late with the massiveness of it. It just takes the the priority is profit margins, not product.
Right. So, what would you say you're most excited about for the future of Captain Soup and the future of Brian's Farm City on a Hill?
It's so big. It's so big in my heart, in my head, to think that his life has changed by choosing to do this. He was stricken ill and continued to kind of decline, and they're just all of the things that he had to go through to get to the base point of healing himself through food by using the back to the basics, back to the bottom. And he was impacted in such a way that he realized, like, whoa, hang on, the whole we need to do something differently, and realize that he can do that, that we can do that, we can make a difference, and to take on the world for his children and his neighbors and their neighbors, to have something to be proud of that you do every day that is much different than what's kind of happening normally, and share that with people, to be the one that says, I'm going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're doing this for everyone because it's important that we have access to good healthy food, and it takes hard work and it takes a lot of effort, and especially when there's a bunch of different things happening at one time, and with all of those cogs spinning. And it's exciting for me to have the background that I have, these little bits of this, that, and the other thing, and say, like, I get to be a part of this to help you and share what I know so that you can succeed.
Mm.
It's good. I love it. And I love the kids on the farm. I love the fact that the kids are right there. They're just bitty babies learning it all, and the spongy little brains, and that they're influenced by it as well, and that they're proud of it, and that they can share that and take that information and knowledge and hard work, and that is a ripple effect that will continue. And I love to see that, the inspired nature, the curiosity in the eyes, and pride behind being a, a you know a 10-year-old farmer.
Yes, indeed. I bet that just warms your heart seeing them getting started young, you know?
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good because
Yeah.
they're going to know that bone deep, and they're going to be able to share that as well. And
Yeah.
they're the future. The children are the future, and making sure that their brains and bodies are getting what they need so that they can grow up big and strong and educated and versed in many ways to help share with the community, keep everyone around them healthy. It's community is a big part of it too, having your people, your family.
Maureen, do you have a favorite farm animal?
That's tough. They're all my favorite. They all have different jobs. uh oh no, they're all just so wonderful. They're all so different.
Too
And
hard to
that's the thing
choose.
when you have when you when you have a farm with multiple different animals, the chickens and their quirky nature, and
Hmm.
the pigs with they're just silly, and they're vocal, and they're very good at telling you exactly what it is they want. And the sheep doing their own thing and moving the way they do, but then knowing that if you didn't have the livestock guardian dogs, that's a constant on the farm. Those guys will be there, and they're looking out for everyone. So it's a city in its own. Every
Yeah.
every creature doing a different thing but working together. The chickens following to pillage through the manure piles, and the dogs keeping the invaders and predators out, and also good for cuddles and snuggles. And yeah, I
Such
appreciate them all differently.
such a wise answer, I must say.
Well, thank you.
Including
Do you
including
have a
everyone.
favorite?
I would say probably the goats.
Oh,
The goats are just such a crack up for me. Like I can't get enough.
farm
All of
friends
them. Yeah. But I appreciate your answer too. I have love for all of them because they all play a part, just like you said.
all work together well. And the
Right.
rotations of job it is to do what. You just take their regular nature, like what their natural state is, and mimic that. So you have, the chickens will follow the cattle when the cattle come and disperse all of that, fertilizing themselves also.
Mm,
And
mhm.
oh, it's good. The
Yeah.
pigs in the woodlot just rummaging and turning up soils, clearing multiflora that would, nobody needs 10 foot of blackberries, and the pigs will take care of that.
Yeah.
And then it creates an understory where it's healthier and new multiflora grows. And then you have your shelter for the critters by the canopy that's still existent because you don't need to cut trees down to make more pasture.
Incredible. So, what would you say your favorite soup on the Captain Soup menu is to make and or to eat?
I'm a huge fan of the chicken soup myself. The entire process of it just feels like home. The taste is bar none. It's the most delicious chicken soup I've ever had. Never in my life did I think about how pivotal and how important, like, the roundness of the flavor that happens in a chicken soup. It's my favorite.
I completely agree with you. Completely agree. When we have those, the chickens in the pots and then we throw in all those bright vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it looks so beautiful when it's
Yeah,
being prepared.
they're too.
And then the taste, like, I mean, just tooting our horn a little bit. It's freaking delicious.
It's
It's so
the best chicken soup
yeah.
I've ever had in my whole life. And can we tell them the secret?
Uh yeah, I don't know what's this what are you gonna say?
So the secret that I think, besides the fact that it's just like amazing to look at, it's amazing to smell, and the flavor is there. The flavor, I think, is enhanced and has this full, rich creaminess to it because of blending the skin into the broth, into the stock.
Of course. That is right. Yes.
Bringing that fat up, really want that. It's so good for you.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were gonna reveal like our ultra secret, why our soups makes so much sense and are so tasty. But yeah, that's the trick right there. We got the chicken skin blended in with the broth, and it's just there's nothing like it. Yeah, awesome, Maureen. Well, this was fun. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
thank you,
sharing.
Alex. Thanks for
Yeah,
doing everything you do on your part and your half and keeping us all moving.
my pleasure.
We have our different high points. I can be out in the field and the farms and get a chance to chew the fat with the farmers and see how their operations are going. And
Mhm.
you're doing a lot of the hard work in the computer land, so thank you.
Thank you, Maureen.
And
My
so
pleasure.
much more. You have been so helpful. You
Thank
tra-
you.
you were the original who trained me, you and Terry.
Yeah, it's true. I've spent a lot of time in the kitchen myself, but we've found ways to expand the team and grow, and we're continuing to figure out how we can support people's health needs and getting clean food, and we're not stopping. We're not
That's us.
stopping until we can, take over the world and everyone's eating clean, healthy food.
That's
That's
right.
the goal.
Should have access to healthy, clean food that heals their bodies.
Yes, and everyone has chickens in their backyard. That's the
That's
the next thing.
there
Everyone's
we
chickens
go.
and eggs. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to make lots of awesome content in the future about what we're doing behind the scenes. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much. Be well.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.